Joshua's Table.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Joshua's Table. Today's episode, we are going to be making cream of tomato soup with grilled cheese. Now this is a comfort food for a lot of people. So I'm going to show you a simple, easy way of making it very delicious. So let's begin. Here are the ingredients to make this delicious dish. So I got vegetable broth. Now you can get any type of brand you want. You can make your own vegetable broth if you want to. But I just got me some vegetable broth here. I'm using some tomato sauce, tomato paste, fresh shaved Parmesan, and some heavy cream, along with some onions, some parsley, and I'm going to put my spices in it to make it delicious. And then for my grilled cheese, I'm using sharp cheddar cheese and white sharp cheddar cheese, along with some whole wheat old-fashioned bread. So let's get started. So our first thing that we're going to do is get our onion and our parsley all ready. We're going to start with our onion here. Cut that in half like that. I'm just going to slice it just like this. And then we're going to take our parsley next, slide it to the side. And I'm going to use every bit of this parsley, even the stems, because this is some good stuff right here. So we got our onion and our parsley all chopped. First thing we're gonna do is get our tomatoes opened up. Let's get our cans opened up. Pop the lids off. Going right there. Now next step is we get our pot ready now. Pot ready. Stove on high. Get ready to saute these onions and this parsley up real good. Incorporate that with our tomato paste and our tomato and our vegetable broth. We're going to bring it all together. And my pan is nice and hot. Get a little bit of olive oil right here. And kind of just lay it in my pan. You can hear that crackling of the oil. Now we're going to get our onions, our parsley inside of that. Also had some minced garlic that I had. That smells good. It's gonna be delicious. I can already taste the tastiness of it. So what I'm gonna do is get about that much. Pop that in there. And this is gonna bring all my flavors together. We're going to do about a half a cup. Oh yeah, that smells good. Look at that right there. This is going to be a nice, rich tomato-based sauce that I'm doing here. We're going to let that reduce down a little bit. so good. Oh, yeah. I'll let this reduce down a little bit before I add my tomato sauce inside of that. I am going to go ahead and lower my stove down to medium high. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato sauce in. I just use 4 cans of tomato sauce. This will be plenty. This will probably serve about 6 people. Get this all stirred in real good. I'm gonna do a half a cup of vegetable broth. Get my whisk. Whisk that in like that. Yeah. Taste this. Take that rich togetherness of the wine, the onions and the garlic that have been married together, and then the tomatoes that we put inside of that, tomato sauce that we put together. Bring it up to a little boil, just a little bit higher. Once it gets to a boil, I'm going to reduce it again. So let's get that to a boil. All right, so I got me a cup of heavy cream, a little bit of spices I put together, and this is basically 2 tablespoons of onion powder, which is the key ingredient in this. Some Mexican oregano, a teaspoon of that, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little bit of salt, pinch of salt for taste. You can add more later on in that, and then half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. It's coming to a little boil, and I'm going to go ahead and mix this. Now I'm going to leave the cover off because I don't want it to build up moisture, condensation, and retain that moisture. All that steam that's coming off, it's moisture leaving, it's water leaving. So it's going to allow it to reduce down, thicken up, and allow all those flavors to marry together and become one delicious flavor. That smells so good. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and add my heavy cream on the inside of this here now. We're going to go ahead and whisk that together. Give it that beautiful color that's going to start appearing here soon. Look at that. Nice rich color. Mix that down. Get my Parmesan cheese. I prefer to use the shaved Parmesan cheese here versus the powder. Only because it packs more flavor than the powder. Now, if you have the powder, you can use the powder, which is fine. But I want to use the shaved one. It comes like this here. Start to bubble up a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and taste this and see how those flavors are coming together. Oh yeah. Now the cheese is going to bring it all together, and then we're going to put this down to medium high. We're going to put that cheese in. More cheese in there like that. Mix that in. Just slowly stir it like that. Bring it all together. Cheese is going to start to melt onto your whisk, which is good. That's what you want. keep stirring it. So it allows it not to stick, but it actually blends in very well into the sauce. I want to use all this cheese. Now this is basically about 10 ounces of cheese. Apron on so I won't get dirty. Okay, now let's get dirty. Start bubbling up, get all sticky and stuff. And add the rest of the cheese in there. This on medium. I'll go hand it down two already. The cheese all stuck on there. Yep, that's what happens. You get a little messy there. While this simmers and reduces down some more, see that steam coming out? Like I said, there's that moisture is coming out. I want as much water as possible to come out. Every now and then, I'm going to go ahead and just stir it a little bit. That way it keeps it all together. Anything from sticking or burning or anything. So. So we can get our bread ready now. So let's get our bread. So you can use any type of bread you want. I'm just going to use some whole wheat, trying to eat a little more healthier. Two types of cheese I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to have the sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm going to have the sharp white cheddar cheese. You can use whatever type of cheese you want. I prefer to use the sharp cheddar cheese versus the processed American cheese that they have, but that is also delicious if you want to use that one. It's okay. Okay, I got my bread. And I'm going to grab my bread like this right here. And the best way to do it is just get your cheese. I got a little bit of butter. Got my cheese here. I'm going to grab one slice from this one and one from the other side. Put it like that. But get a little butter here and kind of butter the back of my bread. Now you can just kind of put it on like this. You don't have to be too much, just a little bit. This is going to cause that nice crustification. That's a new word, crustification. I don't even know if it's a word, but I made it up. Hey, crustification. All right, and put some more butter on this side here. Get that ready. Okay, and we're gonna put our cheese like this here. So this is ready. I'm gonna grab another slice. Nice and hot. Let that sit like this for a second. And once this gets hot, I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there and then put my bread in there. I want it to get nice and hot. Yeah, we don't want that pan to get too hot and allow everything to start burning and sticking. So we're gonna get it nice and hot first. Get our olive oil in there, and when we get our pan, put our toast down, our bread down that we have right here. And once we get that down, then we're gonna lower the stove and get the cheese and everything and the butter to melt properly. That's the key. Look at that right there. That's good. Okay, so my pan is nice and hot. Get my olive oil. I just keep a bowl of olive oil, which makes it easy for me to just use, you know, because I'm always in the kitchen cooking. So just put a little bit like this, just a little bit to kind of get the pan going. Now, next step we're gonna do is get that turned in there real good like that. Get it all over, coat in the pan real good. Okay, let's get nice and hot. So now we're gonna go ahead and put our toast in. Let's put our toast down. Both sides. Pan is big enough for all 4 slices to fit in there. Just like that. Let it sit so for a minute. Get my bigger wooden spoon. Just kind of press it gently like that. Now here's the secret right here. You'll see it's starting to get nice and brown here already. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the cheese, put it to one side. And then we're gonna take this one side and put it right on top. Boom. Then we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna flip that over. We're gonna lower our stove down because remember I said I don't want it too high to burn. You want the heat to just penetrate. Gonna move that around like that. So, beautiful. A little more butter in here like that. Get that butter at the bottom. We just kind of rotate it a little bit. Rotate it. Cheese is going to start to melt. So this right here is basically almost ready. Now the secret is, you see that gooiness that's happening right there? That's what we're looking for. You want that gooey, oozy cheese. So I'll just flip it again one more time. That cheese is going to try and leak out to the side there and stick it back in. Kind of let it sit there good. That's looking good right there. This is just bubbling. This is getting so together. Juiciness. Look at that right there. Oh yeah. Turn that like that. Let's go back over here. We're gonna flip this right here to this side. Right there. I can turn my stove off here because I don't need to be anymore. The cheese already glued together. I can sit right there and continue gluing. And this is basically ready right here. But I'm going to add 2 more things into this to complete it. I'm going to add 2 more things to complete this right here. A little bit of salt just to kind of, for taste. So, just a little bit of salt in there. Get that going. And last, a little bit of cane sugar. Just a little bit to get that sweetness out of tomatoes. Mix it together. Remember, this is something simple to make. You don't have to do exactly this way, but these steps always come out good and taste very good. So you should try it this way. Flip that one more time. Perfect. I have a nice crust for it. Here that. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and cut our grilled cheese in half and prepare here to serve and plate our cream of tomato soup. Okay, so we made a comfort food, grilled cheese and cream of tomato soup. So let's enjoy this. Perfect. Crunch, the cheesiness, the richness, the soup. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button and let me know what you would or would not do in this situation. Exactly what you would add or take away from this meal. I'm going to go ahead and eat this. Dip it in, dunk it in. It's hot, but delicious. Well, I will see you later. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy all of this right now.
From your head down to your feet, you gotta eat for life, gotta eat for life, as long as you're willing and able. Meet me over on Joshua's table, Joshua's table, Joshua's table. Long as you're willing and able, meet me at Joshua's table. Joshua's table, Joshua's table. You gotta eat for life. Over on this channel, yeah, we keeping it kosher. Cooking good food like the way we supposed to. Everything we use, you know it have to be clean, cause that's the main ingredient in the cooking hygiene. Gonna share my knowledge.